Welcome to the 2023 Veterans Day ceremony, and thank you for attending. We are here today to honor our service members, to remember their achievements, their courage, and their dedication, and to say thank you for their sacrifices. Today, Veterans Day, we commemorate the cessation of hostilities during World War I between the Allied nations and Germany on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. Thinking of the heroes who join us in this group today, and those who are only here in spirit, a person can't help but feel awed by the enormity of what we encounter. We stand in the midst of patriots, and the family and friends of those who have nobly served. At this time, I ask that you please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem performed by the Leakey Band.
join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Let us pray. Father, we can never thank our military men and women enough for their courageous service and sacrifice to our country and its people. Yet today, we lift up our voices to express gratitude and honor to these military troops, both from the past and present. Show us ways in our communities, churches, and families to appreciate and love them better. Keep and protect these heroes and their families. In the powerful name of Jesus. Amen. Please enjoy the patriotic numbers with the sounds of the Leakey Elementary Choir.
stars to be living here today. 'Cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, but at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd gladly stand next to you if it hurt us still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, Detroit down to Houston, and New York to Liverpool. There's pride in the American heart, and it's time to stand and stay. And I'm proud to be an American, but at least I know I'm free. The men who died, who gave that right to me, and I'm glad you stayed out next to you. If it hurts still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, but at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'm glad we stayed out next to you. And if it hurts still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Each branch of the United States military has its own flag, which honors the servicemen and women who give the most by serving our country. These service flags are representative of the country's rich history and the struggles which have been undertaken to protect the nation and its people. Each military branch flag displays an emblem that holds similarities and differences to that of its counterparts. We will now present each of the flags of the United States Armed Services. Juliana and Zoe will present the Army flag.
The United States Army is the land service branch of the United States Armed Forces, the oldest and most senior branch of the U.S. Uniformed Services. The Army has roots in the Continental Army, which fought for our great nation's independence from Britain. The mission of the U.S. Army is to, quote, fight and win our nation's wars by providing prompt, sustained land dominance across the full range of military operations and the spectrum of conflict in support of combatant commands, end quote. The modern U.S. Army participates in conflicts worldwide and is the major ground-based offensive and defensive force of the United States of America. Prior to 1956, the Army was the only U.S. military branch that did not have a flag to represent the entire service. The official Army flag, dedicated and unfurled to the public on June 14, 1956, consists of a white field with a blue symbol and a red ribbon that reads United States Army. Below that, the year 1975 is written in blue, which marks of the founding father of the Continental Army, with General George Washington's appointment as General of the Army. The blue symbol that takes up most of the flag is the central design of the original War Office seal. At its center is Roman armor, which represents defense and strength. This armor is surrounded by other common army weapons such as the sword, musket, bayonet, cannon, bombs, and mortar. The drum and the drumsticks to the left of the armor represent public notice and the army's role to serve and protect the nation. A Phrygian cap, representing freedom, is supported by an upward pointing sword symbolizing strength. Above the cap is a coiled snake and banner which reads, "This will defend," a well-known motto of the United States Army. Gustavo and Kat will now present the United States Marine Corps flag.
Also formed in 1775, the United States Marine Corps is one of the most elite fighting forces in the world. As a Marine land force, the U.S. Marines are responsible for expeditionary and amphibious operations. The Marine Corps has a long history of defining moments to include the flag raising at Iwo Jima and the Navajo code talkers who were crucial in securing victory over Japan in World War II. The Marine Corps flag represents an historic legacy of the military branch. The flag consists of a red background, gold fringe, an eagle holding a ribbon in its mouth, a globe, and an anchor. The eagle symbolizes the United States and the Marines' duty to protect the country, as well as the Marines' commitment to support and defend the Constitution. The ribbon the eagle holds in his beak is inscribed with Semper Fidelis, the Marine Corps' motto, meaning always faithful. The eagle sits atop a large globe, which signifies the commitment of the Marine Corps to its area of responsibility. Marines serve at any climate, any place. The large anchor behind the globe represents the Marine Corps ties to the U.S. Navy and the amphibious nature of the Marines' duties. Finally, a prominent banner under the central emblem of the flag clearly identifies the flag with United States Marine Corps. The United States Marine Corps flag will forever represent the strong, courageous men and women that serve our country and their willingness to dedicate their lives to the citizens of the United States and the U.S. Constitution. Eliana and Heather will now present the Navy flag.
The flag of the United States Navy consists of the seal of the U.S. Department of the Navy in the center. Above a yellow scroll inscribed United States Navy, against a dark blue background. The official department of the U.S. Navy seal, which is prominently displayed in the center of the flag, consists of a shield of the United States in front of an American bald eagle, wings spread, perched on top of a proud anchor, encompassed by a gold rope. The eagle, which has been depicted on many flags, coins, and various other items, represents strength and power. The fouled anchor, which also represents the rank of Chief Petty Officer, represents trials and tribulations faced daily. The official U.S. Navy flag was recognized by President Dwight D. Eisenhower and officially introduced to the public on April 30th, 1959. The flag is flown on land, displayed in naval offices, in parades, and other ceremonial occasions, but not on ships at sea or as an identified mark of the U.S. Navy ships and facilities. Anna and Lexi will now present the flag of the United States Air Force.
The United States Air Force is the aerial welfare branch of the United States Air Forces and one of the 7 American uniformed services. Like the other military flags, the Air Force flag symbolizes a prestigious history of dedication to this country. The flag of the United States Air Force consists of the coat of arms, which stands as the official symbol of a high-ranking nation. 13 white stars and the Air Force seal on the blue background. The 13 stars represent the 13 original colonies, and the 3 stars of green at the top portray the 3 departments of the National Defense Establishment. The crest includes the American bald eagle. The cloud formation depicts the creation of a new firmament, and the wreath composed of 6 alternate poles of silver and blue incorporate the colors of the basic shield design. Directly below the Air Force seal are the words American Air Force, the Roman numeral for 1947, and here your Air Force was established. The United States Air Force flag was always present, an entity committed to protecting the American people, and we are forever grateful. Taylor and Angelina will now represent the flag of the United States Coast Guard.
The United States Coast Guard plays a vital role in guarding and protecting the waters of the United States. They embark on hundreds of life-saving search and rescue missions for boaters and sailors in distress. On the Coast Guard flag, the blue crest is a representation of the Great Seal of the United States, and understandably is packed with important symbols and meaning. The eagle is the official symbol of the United States. In the seal, it bears a shield of red, white, and blue that is remnants of the flag of the United States. The eagle is upholding the shield without support, which is a symbol to remind America that it should stand on its own, free from reliance on other nations for aid. The eagle is holding an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other. These represent the powers of peace and war that are wielded by the government. The shield is composed of a chief, white stars on a blue field, and pales, white and red stripes. These pales represent the several states joining together to support the chief, a symbol of Congress that governs the U.S. Above the eagle is a circle of 13 stars, referred to as a constellation. This constellation represents the government joining the 13 original states. This flag is flown proudly by United States Coast Guard members, veterans, and their families. It carries one of the best parts of the America's proud symbolism and is a fitting banner for the backbone of America's waters. Caleb and Lexi will now present the flag of the United States Prisoners of War.
The Prisoners of War Missing in Action flag stands as a symbol for the American determination to honor those brave men and women who are still missing and unaccounted for. In 1970, an MIA wife and a member of the National League of Prisoners of War / Missing Action families acknowledged the need of a symbol to honor our prisoners of war and soldiers missing in action. The flag is black and bears in the center a black and white emblem of the League. The flag features a white disc bearing a black silhouette, a head of a man, a watchtower, the guard on patrol, and a string of butterflies. Above the disc are the letters POW and MIA, framing a white 5-pointed star. Below the disc, a white wreath sits above the inscription. Your flag remains constantly visible as a reminder to continuously honor those unreturned veterans, keeping their memory in the forefront of our country's mind.
As you enter the gymnasium today, you may have noticed a special table. This table is reserved to honor our missing service members who went on to fight for our great nation and never returned home. Some of us here may have been very young when a military conflict occurred. Some of us may not have lived during a time of great military conflict. However, all Americans should never forget the brave men and women who answered our nation's call and served the cause of freedom in a most special way. Let me explain the meaning of this table, and then join me in observing a moment of silence. The table that stands before you is a place of honor. In setting this table, we acknowledge those missing from our celebration today, and we remember them. The table is small and set for one, symbolizing the vulnerability of a lone prisoner against his captors. Remember, The cloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their motives when they answered the nation's calls to arms. Remember, the single red rose reminds us of the lives these Americans and their friends and loved ones who keep the faith while awaiting their return. Remember, the yellow ribbon symbolizes our continuing uncertainty and hope for their return, and our determination to account for them. Remember, a slice of lemon on the red plate reminds us of their bitter fate, captured in a foreign land. Remember, a pinch of salt on the red plate symbolizes the tears of our missing and their families, who long for answers after decades of uncertainty. Remember, the lighted candle reflects our everlasting hope for their return, alive or dead. Remember, the Bible represents the strength gained through faith, one sustain us from those lost from our country, founded as one nation under God. Remember, the glass is inverted, symbolizing their inability to share in celebration with us. Remember, the chair is empty. They are missing. All who have served alongside them, those who have donned the same proud uniform, being sworn to the same faith and alliance. Those of us who have the privilege to share the same country that they so love that they paid the ultimate price. We will never forget their sacrifice. Remember, until the day they return home or find eternal peace, we will remember. Please join me in standing to observe a moment of silence for our prisoners of war and U.S. service members missing in action. Thus saith the Lord, refrain thy voice from weeping, and thine eyes from tears, for thy work shall be rewarded, saith the Lord. And they shall come again from the land of the enemy, and there is hope in thine end, saith the Lord, that thy children shall come home again to their own border. Thank you, and please be seated. We will now enjoy the sounds of the Armed Forces on Parade, a medley of the marches of the United States Armed Forces. If you have served or are a family member of someone who has served, we encourage you to stand and be recognized when the song of your service or your loved one's service is played. Feel free to sing along loudly and proudly. The United States Air Force. The United States Marines. United States Army. United States Navy.
We are all proud of all veterans, and especially proud of those who share connections with Leakey. Those who were born and raised here, those who visit, those who have made Leakey their home after serving. Today, we recognize you individually by name, and service to share our pride and demonstrate our appreciation for your selflessness. As your name is called, please stand so we can all recognize your service and dedication to our country. Daryl Lloyd Buchanan. Jim Pierce.
Kurt Ashley.
Alfred J. Sorry about that. Kurt Ashley, Navy.
Jim Pierce, Marine Corps.
Daryl Lloyd Buchanan, Navy.
Bob Phillips, Navy.
Alvin J. Reynolds,
Mary Reynolds, Navy.
Cole W. Birchwell, Army.
Eddie Goldwick, Navy.
G.W. Willigar, Jr., Navy.
Glenn Michael Soule, Navy.
Ralph Long, Air Force.
Richard Henning, Army.
Eddie Stevens, Army.
Dave Nicholas, Army.
John Pickham, Marine Corps.
Melanie Green, Air Force.
Nathan T. Johnson, Marine Corps.
Jen Turner, Army.
Joe A. Nichols, Army and Air Force.
Jerry Blaylock, Air Force.
Dennis Finley, Navy.
John J. Burdick, Navy.
Alberto Martinez, Army.
Charles Bonnecker, Army.
Starling Linneman, Air Force.
Ed S. Smith, USA Army.
Jeff Bobo, Navy. BJ Punchy Riley, Air Force.
Ben Dennis, Manchester, Navy.
Meredith Quinlan, Army.
Danielle Mendoza, Marine Corps.
Pat Howard, Navy.
Carly Bates, Navy.
Bobby Jack Rushing, Navy.
Curtis Hurd, Air Force.
James Howson, Army.
Brandon Hacker, Army.
Greg Ayer, Army.
Richard Hinton, Army.
Ralph Hammond, Air Force.
AJ Reynolds, Navy.
Mary Reynolds, Navy.
Jonathan Ramirez, Army.
Mark Louie, Army and Marines.
Sam Keller, Navy.
Ray Miller, Army.
Mark Powell, Army.
Arturo Dalciolo, Marines.
Maria Palacios, Army.
Rolando Palacios, Army.
Sal Bechanero, Navy.
H. Franklin Bradley, Air Force.
Ronnie Harris, Marines.
Alicia Hawkins, Air Force.
Devin Chisholm, Army.
Jessica Chisholm, Army.
Corey Powell, Navy.
Dan Bickham, Marines.
Jim DeClue, Army.
James Brooks Schultz, Army.
DJ Riley, Air Force.
Melvin Kincaid, Navy.
George Alvarado, Army.
Isaac Canales, Navy.
Danny Rickus, Air Force.
Joe A. Nichols, Army.
Vince Wade, Navy. Any additional veterans in the audience who have not been called, please stand and be recognized for your service at this time. Again, thank you veterans for your dedication, sacrifice, and selfless service to our country.
Today, we are honored Today, we are honored to be joined by our guest speaker, Colonel James Brooks Schultz. Colonel James Brooks Schultz is the Deputy Commander of the Southwestern Division of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. In his position, Schultz assists the commander to provide guidance and direction to 4 operating district commands located in Fort Worth, Galveston, Texas, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Little Rock, Arkansas, with a combined professional workforce of nearly 4,100 key missions. Key missions include managing the nation's water resources infrastructure for economic growth and environmental sustainability, timely response to natural disasters, and support to military installations and civilian communities throughout portions of 6 states that cover some 2.3 million acres of public land and water. Schultz was commissioned through the Army Reserve Office Training Corps at Texas A&M University in 1994 as a distinguished military graduate. He earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Civil Engineering from Texas A&M, as well as a Master's degree in Engineering Management from the University of Missouri-Rolla. He is also a licensed professional engineer in the state of Missouri. Schultz has held a variety of leadership and staff positions throughout his 28 years in the Army at the tactical, operational, and strategic levels. His military education includes the Army War College, School of Advanced Military Studies, and the Canadian Staff College. Schultz's awards and decorations include the Legion of Merit, Bronze Star, Defense Meritorious Service Medal, Meritorious Service Medal, Joint Service Commendation Medal, Army Commendation Medal, Navy Marine Corps Achievement Medal, Army Commendation Medal, NATO Medal, Kosovo Medal, Campaign Medal, and Parachute Dispatch. His operational deployments include Operation Joint Guardian, Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation Enduring Freedom, and Operation Freedom Sentinel. Please join me in offering a warm welcome to our guest of honor, Colonel James Brooks Schultz.
So I tell people to wait till they applaud to the end to see if it was worth it. Hey, thanks for bringing me in today. I appreciate you putting this on. I think we got school superintendent to thank, Mr. Yeske, Ms. Dean, the assistant principal, school board members, all the students that come in today, and then certainly the veterans. Please give them another round of applause for the veterans. Thanks everybody for joining us today. I remember when Leakey didn't have an indoor gymnasium. It was all unenclosed, and now it's changed a lot. And so I say I appreciate the endowment and benevolence of all the townsfolk to give them a little more capability. It's great to be doing this on a rainy day inside. So appreciate that too. Thanks for helping out your school. Another thing I noticed. I'm a colonel, so I got eagles for the rain. I don't see those a lot, right? You see a lot of other rain out there, but not a lot of eagles. And now I'm in a town that's surrounded by eagles. So there's more eagles than you can say stick at. This makes me feel at home and very comfortable. Love the Leakey Pool. Before I begin, take a moment to recognize people that put all the event together. I got to name Miss Danetta, Miss Amanda, and the school maintenance team. So let's give them a round of applause. Thanks for all the teammates who worked tirelessly to put this on. We were in late last night trying to get it all organized and figure out what was going on. And I appreciate the hard work that goes into that. Recognize that it takes a lot of time to do this, and you guys are putting a lot of time into coming to it. Thank you for that. Thanks for taking your time from other critical tasks that you're doing to join us today. I think we've got it also virtually going streaming around the internet, so I appreciate doing that too. Having so many folks from the county, from the city, from areas around. I think I met somebody from Fallon, Nevada, right on. So appreciate you coming in. I know from folks from Kerrville, my Uncle John, and appreciate everybody coming to this. It's really to see the veterans and to recognize your service. Thank you for your service and to honor you today. I'm coming from the Corps of Engineers, as the speaker said, based in Dallas, Texas. Our mission, we do public engineering services and stewardship for government infrastructure and strategic waterways right across Texas, Louisiana, Little Rock, Arkansas, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and all the way out to Fort Bliss, Texas. A big mission for us to help energize the economy, strengthen the nation's security, and reduce risk from natural disasters. A team of highly disciplined professionals that work with federal, state, local partners to deliver sustainable engineering solutions for the nation's challenges. I'd say, once again, thanks for having me today, and I'll share some thoughts, right, and some respect for the veterans and their service to the nation. I think we all owe a debt of gratitude, lifelong debt of gratitude to the brave men and women who stepped forward to defend our nation throughout history. Right? You've got our undying gratitude. Like many of you, I come from this part of Texas. My grandparents in Rock Springs, Texas. My grandmother came from Vanderbilt. I got a lot of family around Barksdale, Campwood, all the way back up through Kerrville and north, even into San Antonio and Austin and up into Dallas. I have family and friends that are buried in the cemetery right there in Rock Springs, just across from the rodeo and fairgrounds. And like a lot of veterans that have come from a local area, you know the ground that you're defending, it means a lot to you, right? The values that you hold dear are evident and direct. When I meet veterans who come from small towns, it always strikes me how committed they are to their family and their community. They truly want to serve and protect. I think it stems from knowing exactly where they come from. These rivers, these hills, these farms and ranches, they know what the country's worth in terms of these things that they're defending. It just makes it mean a lot more, I think. I've got a picture to show. One more. I got a picture to show. I saw this on the internet. It's a picture of a soldier in Iraq. He's surrounded by a little crowd in a city street in Baghdad. And someone has heard a loud noise. There's a danger forming down the street. And you can see the crowd start to run one way, away from that danger. And the soldier is starting to turn towards him. He's going to face the danger. There's a little kid there that's trying to hide behind the soldier, right? He's seeking safety behind the soldier. Makes you wonder, right? 1,000 words in one picture, for sure. What makes the soldier, right, a veteran? This was taken in 2008, so he's a veteran. What makes these veterans go into a danger zone and face it, ready to fight, when everyone else is running away? What secret drives these veterans to willingly step forward for their community and their country on a dismounted patrol like this picture, or in a lonely foxhole, lonely ship, pulling duty with the daily threat of bullets, bombs, rockets, and tanks? There's a mysterious impetus that makes soldiers step forward and depart from safety and go on an open-ended deployment. No guarantee of coming home. They know that they're leaving some hurt and heartache back at their house, right, in their neighborhood, for all the friends and family they left behind. It's not money that motivates this. It's not a cool weapon. It's not a nice uniform. It's not to get rich. I can promise you it's not to get rich. It's not for medals, right? It's not for glory. So what is it? What motivates them to do this? I'll tell you a couple of stories that I think illustrate it. Like our veterans today, there's some stories for some combat veterans that I want to share. And they are representative of all these battles. I think folks have heard about Master Sergeant Roy Benavidez. He's from Guerrero, Texas. A Special Forces soldier. He earned his Green Beret in 1967. He went on assignment with the Special Forces group in Vietnam. Sergeant Benavidez returned from Catholic Mass at his operating base, and he heard a call on the radio in May of 1968. On that call on the radio, he heard an urgent plea for help. He had a 12-man Special Forces team that was under attack by an enemy battalion deep in enemy territory. They were outnumbered nearly 100 to 1. 3 helicopters had already tried and failed to get that unit out. Another helicopter was about to take off. Sergeant Benavidez grabbed an aid bag, a medic bag, and he jumped in that helicopter. He went out to try to help. The helicopter couldn't land. There was too much machine gun fire. So he literally just jumped out, dropped on the ground. He just had an aid bag and combat knife, and he started running to his unit to try to help. Immediately wounded. Shot in the leg. He still made it over to the team. He cared for their wounded. He gathered them, reorganized them, got them to a helicopter LZ, started directing Air Force jets in to come give them some air support. He loaded the team into 2 helicopters after being wounded 37 times. They also lost the helicopter, had to get another helicopter in and reorganize, do it all over again. When they finally evacuated him, he was the last one on the helicopter. He had blood all over from all the people he'd been tended to wounded and the wounds that he had. The medics thought he was dead. They were about to zip him up in a body bag, and he was able to get their attention at the last minute to be revived. He died in 1998. He's buried in Fort Sam Houston, Texas, San Antonio. I remember him in 1980 coming to Kerrville and giving us a talk. He gave a big presentation there at the public auditorium just across from the Notre Dame Catholic Church. And I'll never forget it. It's one of the reasons I'm in uniform. That my James, who I always saw in uniform. All right, the second veteran I wanted to highlight, Sergeant Paul Ray Smith. He was one of my soldiers. I was his company commander. He'd been conducting tasks to clearing positions in Baghdad in April of 2003. He had a small engineer platoon. They broke through a concrete wall just north of the airport. He was conducting a clearing operation, trying to clear out the enemy. He had been manning this position north of his battalion headquarters, trying to pull security with this small unit. When they broke through that wall, there was 100 Iraqi soldiers forming against him. They hadn't seen him because it was about a 15-foot wall. As soon as he broke through that wall, it's like he kicked over an ant's nest. They started coming out. He had a vehicle that he put right in that wall and plugged it. And it had a machine gun mount on top. He mounted himself on the machine gun and cleared all his platoon back behind him. He lost his life defending that position. Like my sergeant Benavidez, he was awarded the Medal of Honor for bravery in combat. And there's a third soldier I wanted to highlight, Sergeant Leanne Hester, military police sergeant, doing a routine patrol in Iraq, March 2005. She's in a convoy. The lead vehicle hits a buried mine, buried explosive device, blows up that Humvee, wounds some people inside, and they immediately come under attack by machine gun fire. Sergeant Hester's vehicle was behind it, out of the ambush zone, but she dismounted the vehicle and started running into the ambush zone, clearing enemy positions as she went. Her action saved the fellow soldiers that were in that combat zone, in that ambush zone, and she was later the first woman awarded the Silver Star for valor in close combat. A remarkable story. So three veterans, three remarkable stories, right, that I wanted to highlight. It brings you back to the question, what mysterious force makes these soldiers move into the danger when everyone else is running away? Well, it may be a mystery, it may seem like a mystery, but it's not a secret. I tell you, it's not out of hate for the enemy. It's out of love for their friends, their buddies, their families, their country. These veterans have shown and continue to show their love and service to their country and all our communities. They gave all they had in defense of their nation. Please give our veterans a round of applause in respect to their death. And I'll tell you that the nation's military services are still the same that they ever have been. They got the same mission to fight and win. And this selfless service that's demonstrated by all of these veterans continues today in uniform and opens the doors of opportunity to continue making significant contributions to the country, to our local businesses, our communities, and our public services. We have veterans working hard in these areas still today, even though they retired from the service, they still continue to serve their community. We've also got veterans who've seen some of these hard battles, and they're enduring some hard times from them. And they're fighting battles still unseen. Please continue to support them. Reach out and let them know that you still care about them and respect their service. One more round of applause. Now, I got a couple of pictures from the kids. One was from Wyatt. Wyatt said, thank you, Wyatt. And another one was from Justice, elementary school kids here. I remember I used to get these a lot when I was deployed from Becky's class. I always appreciated it. You know, it always broke your heart. Thanks for that. Okay, I'll close by saying thank you. Thank you for letting me present today a small briefing. Thanks for letting me come in person to see the veterans, to meet them. I met Mark, George, I met Nanny, John, and I've met a lot of good friends, so this is good. Appreciate the opportunity to do it. Thank you once again for the great support of this community in honoring our veterans. It's outstanding to remember. They've given so much to the nation, and they've given so much to their community. They've earned our lifetime of gratitude. Your presence and participation has made this a wonderfully successful event. Please keep safe out there and continue to remember our veterans. God bless you.
Thank you, Colonel Schultz. On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, the fighting of World War I ended in 1918. Due to the conclusion of the wars and all wars, November 11th became a universally recognized day of celebration. The day was originally declared Armistice Day, 8 years after the end of World War I, and honored only veterans of that war. Then in 1954, after World War II and the Korean War,
it was renamed Veterans Day to honor all of the veterans who served America during a time of war and defended democracy. So today we honor all of our veterans who unselfishly placed their lives on the line for our freedom. Those men and women were ordinary people until they heard the call of duty and answered it. They left their families, their homes, and their lives, not for recognition or fame or even the honor bestowed upon them today. They fought to protect our country to maintain our way of life. As we honor our veterans and remember their great deeds, let us also salute those who are currently fighting for our freedom. The war on terrorism and current World War conflicts have helped us all realize how truly unique the American way of life is. The freedom we enjoy is extremely special, and that is why we must defend it. So now is the time to not only honor those who have fought and are fighting for our freedom, it is also the time for each of us to take part in protecting it. The defense of freedom is not just for those in the military. Each of us shares that duty and that responsibility. We don't have to join the Army or the Navy or any organization of defense to actively defend our way of life. We can protect our freedom simply by maintaining it here in America. If we want to preserve our freedoms, we must put them into action. For example, by voting in elections or speaking out against injustice. We must also ensure that everyone feels the benefits of freedom. And we can do that by volunteering in our communities for teaching our children what it really means to be an American. Veterans Day isn't just a day for veterans. It's a day for all Americans. It's a day to remember why they were fighting and a day for all of us to begin our journey of protecting our freedom and the freedom of many future generations. Thank you for joining us to honor our veterans today. Let us walk towards tomorrow still honoring them by living in the freedom we protected. Please join us in a moment of silence for the playing of taps. Please stand and bow your heads. Compassionate God, source of mercy, we pay tribute to those who have served our country, to express our gratitude for their courage and selflessness, both those among us today and those of generations past. This nation, built by those born on this soil, and those who have come here from all corners of the earth, is on a continual journey toward its destiny. May we never let down those who have served in defense of this country. May we uphold the values of freedom and inherit the dignity of every human being by our own right conduct, by the kindness and tolerance we show to one another. May we lead the world by example and become, in the words of Isaiah, a light to the nations. Then will the laborers and sacrifices of these veterans be honored not in words alone, but by our deeds. Amen. Please remain standing as we retire the colors.
Leakey National Honor Society and National Junior Honor Society thanks each and every one of you for attending our celebration today, so that our veterans are most honored for their dedication and service. We ask that the guests please remain in their seats until our veterans exit the gym. Thank you.